Hello all, my name is Krish Naik and welcome to my YouTube channel. So guys, we are into the part 3 of the audio classification using deep learning. And if you remember in our part 2, what we did is that we extracted the features from the audio and our audio features are ready. We divided that into an independent and dependent features. With respect to that, we have got our training and test data. Now, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to create a model with the help of TensorFlow. Specifically, the version of TensorFlow that I'm taking is greater than 2.0. You can take any TensorFlow version, but since TensorFlow 2.0 is the recent one, greater than 2.0 is the recent one, I'm going to use that. So first of all, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to import some libraries for like sequential, dense, dropout, activation, and flatten layer, so that I'll be able to create an ANN and try to see what is the accuracy that we are probably getting it. Okay. Then I have from sklearn import metrics, and I'm also going to use an Adam optimizer. After this, the number of labels, the number of classes, I need to know it, right? Inside my Y test, I could see that I had 10 classes, right? So this is the classes value that I need to get. So I'm going to use this particular classes over here. Y.shape is equal of 1. So this will actually get me the number of classes. So let me just write down a comment. So it'll be my number of classes. After this, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to create an ANN with 3 dense layer. First dense layer will have 100 neurons. The input shape will be 40 comma blank, right? Why 40 comma? Because understand in our training data set, we had 40 features. So we usually give the input shape with respect to the number of features. Then I'm going to apply the activation function in the first layer. Then my model dropout, I'm also going to apply, which is for 0.5. Just an interview question, why dropout is actually used, okay? Then coming to the second layer, we are going to add dense layer with 200 neurons. Then we have activation function of ReLU and dropout as 0.5. Okay. Similarly, with the third layer, I'm just going to add dense as 100, activation function ReLU and dropout. So 3 total layers. And finally, my output layer will be a dense of number underscore labels, which is nothing but number of classes. Okay. And finally, my output layer will basically have a softmax because it is a multi-class classification problem. So I'm just going to execute this, and if I go and see my model.summary, this is my entire model.summary. Here you can see it out, and with respect to that, how many number of parameters are there, you will be able to see it. Okay, so this is pretty much important, right? Now coming to the next thing, obviously we are going to compile this particular model, and for this we are going to use loss as category cross entropy, metrics is equal to accuracy, optimizer as Adam. Okay. Now we are going to train our model, and here we are going to take number of epochs as 100, batch size is 32, and we are going to use the model checkpoint, and we are going to save this HDFI file in this particular folder, that is save underscore models audio underscore classification dot HDF5. Okay. After this, I'm just writing model.fit on a xtrain and ytrain. My batch size will be the number of batch size that I've given over here. Epochs is 100. I've given the number of epochs over here. My validation data is xtest and ytest, and my callback is basically my checkpointer. Checkpointer is nothing but your model checkpoint. Okay, and then we'll try to see that how much time it will probably take. So we are just going to run it for 100 epochs. So let's see what will be the validation accuracy. So the validation accuracy is increasing, guys. It is in 0.51 now. 555, 5660, 61, okay, 64, 65. I think it will be coming somewhere around 76%. That is what I feel. 68, 69. Let's see how many epochs is done. So it has come to 72 now. So probably it will be taking more time. Till then, we'll just wait. Let's wait till that time, guys. And finally, you will be able to see, okay, I've got 76% as validation accuracy, and my training accuracy is somewhere around 68%, which is pretty much good. Again, it is very less, I know that, but let's try another 100 epochs. Probably I'll just execute the same code. Here you can see that it will start from the previous validation accuracy. So 77, 77. Now let's see whether this will increase. Yes, your accuracy is also increasing, right? Your accuracy is also increasing. Now after this, I'll also try to test at least one data, with respect to this, like how we will be getting that specific data and all. I will just try to have a look. Okay, so don't worry about it. We'll have a look onto that too. Okay. So let's see now what is my accuracy. 78, and my this accuracy is also improved, 72. Okay, perfect. So finally you'll be able to see that I'm getting 80% accuracy in validation and 71 over here, which is good. So here is my 80% validation accuracy. Now what I'm going to do is that quickly, let's do one thing. I'm just going to open my audio test file, so that I'll be able to see at least something, try to test it out. So suppose this is my bark, dog underscore bark. I'm just going to say file name. Okay. And here I'm just going to give, currently the file location will be in urban sound k, and then inside urban sound k I have this dot wab. This will be my file. We'll just try to test it out. And the first information that we really want to execute is our extract features function. Let's see whether we have this particular function here or not. So here's extract features. Yeah, feature extractor, sorry. So I'm just going to use this feature extractor and probably give my file name over here. Okay, file name over here. So once I get this particular file name, so what I'm going to do is that I'm just going to write prediction feature, because that this function will actually help me to get the features from there, and we have already seen in our part 2, right? So prediction underscore feature, and after this I'm just going to write model dot predict model dot, I think it is model, right? Yeah, model dot predict underscore classes, and here I am basically going to give my prediction feature, right? So if I execute it, I'll be getting an error saying that I think model input 0 has sequence compatible with the layer 40, but received input with shape this one. Okay, let me just have a look why this is probably not working. We'll just try to have a look onto this. So this is my prediction underscore feature dot shape. It's 40 comma. Okay, I'm just going to write reshape -1 comma 1. So if I go and see this shape, it will become 41. Instead I have to write 1 comma -1, and this will be my data. So let me just copy this, paste it over here. Now I think it will be working. Okay, so prediction underscore feature this, and here you can see that now I'm getting the class as array of 9. Okay, so what is array of 9? We have to check it out. Just imagine that we are just trying to check it out this, but again predicted classes, what I can do is that I can basically, we can also use label encoder there. Okay, and just remember this array of 9 is basically the values that are present in our classes, right? So for that, again, we have to check it out over here itself. So if I go and see my metadata, let me see. So metadata dot head. Okay, so metadata of class, I'm just going to use class dot unique. I'm just going to use this. So 0 1 2 3 4 5 6, like this it is. Let me do one thing specially, is that if I write pd dot get, okay, this I'll give you an assignment, guys. Just imagine that which will be this 9th class. Okay, not just by seeing this, obviously this will just not by seeing this, because I've given a dog underscore bark, so probably the class it is basically determining is dog underscore bark. Just try to have a look which class it is probably belonging to. This will be an assignment to you. Otherwise I can also show you with the help of label encoder, but I really want to show you this one thing, because it is important to understand, like, how do you find out the class which is there. If you have not done it, I'll show you it in the next video, but just try to have a look which class it is basically predicting. Okay, here I've just given you the class is 9. Okay, so remove this, just try to find out which is the label over here. That's it. So I hope you like this video. Again, guys, one problem with respect to this is that the accuracy is still less, somewhere around 80%. In the next video, we'll try to see using CNN, and we'll try to have a look like how better we are able to perform with the help of CNN. So I hope you like this particular video. Please do subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. I'll see you in the next video. Have a great day. Thank you, one doll. Bye bye.